Today, Nightwing's going to become a sexy romance novel character. Yeah, he's becoming a pirate. So in order to understand where we are in the storyline, Nightwing has a fortune that he acquired from Alfred and he's been using it to fix Bloodhaven. During this, he discovered that Bloodhaven has a secret location known as the Hold, where some of the greatest secrets within the world are kept. And there was a secret that was being kept there for Dick Grayson when he finally took back over as Dick Grayson. When he went to go discover what that secret was, he discovered that Tony Zuko had taken the Hold and it was gone. But in a bigger shock, he discovered that his ex-girlfriend, Beatus, from when he was Rick Grayson, is actually a pirate queen and in charge of guarding the Hold. He's now boarding her ship, going on a pirate adventure, and going to discover the big secret that has been kept from him this whole time. This is Comicstorian. I read comic books, turn them into audio drama, so you know what to go out there and buy and add to your collection. And today we're covering Nightwing issues 107, 108, and 109. If you enjoy this, consider joining us at Patreon or YouTube memberships for early access to our content and exclusives. Thank you. Nightwing is shocked. He's been brought to the ship of Captain Blood, who he now realizes is his former girlfriend, Beatrice Bennett, the woman that he dated while he had a minor case of amnesia and went by the name of Rick Grayson. The two stare at each other for a moment, Beatrice's men gathering around them, and finally Beatrice looks at her second in command. "Take him to the brig. Bring him to me in an hour." Dick watches as Beatrice steps into the ambulance that he was captured in. She leans over the body of her dead father. "I'm so sorry," she says, tears forming in her eyes, but before he can say anything, Dick is ushered below deck. He's led into a cell, but instead of shutting the door, the pirates follow him in. "The death of Captain Blood is on you, hero," the first mate growls, and Nightwing is surprised. "What? Captain Blood isn't dead?" he points out, but they shake their heads. "The last Captain Blood." A pirate approaches Nightwing, but he ducks under their attacks, lashing out at them, but there are too many and the cell is too tight for him to move properly. They're going to bring him down quickly if he doesn't do something. So he pulls out his escrima sticks, rushing towards the first mate, but Beatrice's voice brings them all to a stop. "What the hell is this?" she demands. Nightwing looks to the side, his hand already at the first mate's throat. "Let go of each other now," she orders. Without question, the first mate releases Dick Grayson. "You're angry, Lucas, and you're looking for somewhere to put that, but you're fighting a damn superhero. You need to be smarter. You're no use to your captain or your ship if you're broken," Beatrice says. Lucas nods, lowering his gaze, and with a sigh, Beatrice heads towards the deck, motioning for Nightwing to follow her. In the prow of the ship, she turns to her ex, asking if he's finally curious about her past. And he smiles, revealing that he's already figured it out. Beatrice is the leader of the secret pirate society that uses Bloodhaven as a port, which would explain how she was so well at fighting off Joker's goons during Joker War. He's also realized that Bloodhaven got its name for being a port of haven for Captain Blood long ago. He finally looks at her. "Where's the Hold?" he asks, knowing that this is where Blood hid the mysterious package that was being held for Dick Grayson. "We moved it after Zuko broke in. You want your box?" she asks, offering to give it to Dick if he does something for her. The Hold does not let go. "You must pay what you owe. That's how the Hold works," Beatrice explains, explaining that after Zuko attempted to steal from the Hold, her father allowed Nightwing to take him back to the city to serve justice, but Zuko escaped and led Heartless back to the Hold, killing her father, the previous Captain Blood. "Now my father is dead and you have to make this right," she says, explaining that she was adopted into the Blood family, and there are some people who believe that her being captain is illegitimate. "My father had a son that was disowned long ago." She continues, explaining that some believe that Dirk Blood should be the captain. "The crew of the Crossed Keys would become something nastier if he was in charge. I have worked hard to make this a force for good. Dirk needs to be removed. He's very well hidden and very well protected. I know you have skills my crew does not possess. You can get him." Nightwing looks at her for a moment. "B, I'm not killing anyone." She shakes her head, explaining that they can capture Dirk. They can bring him to one of the numerous countries that he's wanted in. "The crew won't follow a man behind bars, and he belongs there. Trust me." She leads Nightwing below deck, offering him a cabin on the pirate ship, motioning to several of the trunks in the room, asking if he wants to change into something that fits. Once alone, Dick puts out a call to his girlfriend Barbara, asking her to look up everything on Dirk Blood. "Already searching," she reports since she was listening in. As Dick begins to change, Barbara comes back on the line. B is secretly a pirate queen, a dark twist to a past relationship. You're becoming more like Batman every day. Barbara jokes, and Dick snorts at the remark. Right? He sighs as he pulls on a shirt. Barbara taps at her computer, confirming that Dirk Blood is a terrible person. So I guess you're going on a cruise with your ex. Barbara sighs. She looks back at the camera in Dick's eye, and her eyes go wide as she sees Nightwing looking at himself in the mirror. You're wearing that? Dick raises an eyebrow. What do you think? I think you should wear it home. You're really swashing that buckle, Nightwing, she says at his new pirate outfit. A short time later, Nightwing heads back on deck. Beatrice has her back to him as he agrees to join and help her. What are you wearing? She asks as she turns around to see Dick's new pirate getup, and he shrugs. This is the only thing that fit from the chest. The chest? Do you not see the cupboard? She asks, pointing out that it had jeans and sneakers, clothing that normal people would wear. I did not, Dick tells her, offering to go change, but she shrugs, turning away with a shake of her head. For the duration of the mission, you will look like the cover of a romance novel. Captain's orders. Lightning cracks overhead as someone shouts for a sailor overboard. Nightwing rushes to the railing, prepared to jump in after Lucas, but he is suddenly frozen in fear that hasn't gripped him since he was a young man. Beatrice rushes past him, grabbing a rope and leaping in after her first mate. Moments pass, but the two of them break the surface, and the crew then pulls them back on board. Once they're safe on the deck, Beatrice crouches by her first mate. Lucas, what happened? And Lucas shakes his head, explaining that someone pushed him overboard. So a short time later, Nightwing and Beatrice are below deck. You have a traitor on board, Dick tells her, and she nods as she towels off. Yeah, someone on board is acting for my brother. Dirk probably wants me dead, she says with a sigh, explaining that they need to go to the pirate stronghold, that no one can know of the journey or its destination. Are you the only one looking through your mask? Beatrice asks him, and Nightwing pauses for a moment. No, he finally admits, so she asks for it, telling him that she needs to keep the stronghold's location a secret. Nightwing, I want you home, Barbara tells him over the comms, but Dick tells her that this is something he needs to do. He pulls off the mask, looking through it, promising that he will return home to Barbara safe. I love you, he tells her, putting away her only connection to him on this journey. Now with the new mask, he and Beatrice head back to the deck, where they throw his old one into the ocean, sailing away from the harbor of Bloodhaven. The pirate ship slides across the ocean in the dead of night, the full moon watching over it. Inside, the traitorous assassin slips into the captain's quarters, driving a knife into her sleeping form. Wow, you must really hate that bed, Nightwing notes from the doorway, where he leans casually. The assassin pulls out the knife, revealing that he merely stabbed a bundle of blankets, and Nightwing smiles, explaining that they decided that it would be silly for the captain to sleep in her own room with a murderous traitor on board. I think we made the right call, Nightwing notes, as the assassin lunges at him with the knife. Nightwing steps to the side, the assassin running through the ship, and Dick smiles, giving chase. We're on a boat! Is your escape plan to do laps and hope I get tired? He points out that he gets a lot of cardio for being a superhero before tackling the assassin. A short time later, the man is tied up in the stronghold. B, the pirate queen, leans in close. My brother sent you, she snaps, but the man shakes his head. He did, but he didn't have to. You're not a Blood. You're not our captain, the assassin says, and with a sigh of exasperation, she heads towards the door, ordering her first mate, Lucas, to get what information he can from the traitor. Dick follows after her, asking how long until they reach the pirate stronghold. We'll be there by morning, B informs him. And finally, Dick asks the question that has been going through his mind. B, why are you helping me? Given that you've been a secret power behind Bloodhaven this whole time? He asks, and she nods, explaining that she has been greasing the wheels so that all the charity work and social work that Dick Grayson has been doing in Bloodhaven would actually go through. All heaven would have been doomed for years of bureaucratic inaction. She tells him, and Dick thanks her, but she gets angry, pointing out that they hadn't spoken since he broke up with her, when he left her for his noble ideals, angrily pointing out that he doesn't feel the need to protect Batgirl, who she has seen him with. I'm constantly worried about her safety, but she's a superhero, and I'm a pirate queen, B snaps at him, but the anger deflates as Dick tells her, you didn't tell me that, B! She finally turns around. We'll be arriving at dawn, You should get some sleep. Once dawn arrives, the ship arrives. Dick is shocked as they sail through a holographic wall into a pirate cove. This is impossible, Dick says with a gasp, looking at the skyscrapers of a pirate city. Bee joins him at the rail and smiles. No, Nightwing, there are places in this world that remain hidden, even to you and your friends. Bee steps off the boat and is greeted by the captain's concierge, Lindsay, who bows despite Bee's repeated request that she doesn't. It is tradition, Lindsay informs her with determination, and Dick raises an eyebrow. And this tradition has more power than the actual commands of your captain? He asks, but Lindsay looks at him with disdain. Traditionally, a captain's consort doesn't speak, she snaps at him. Dick is flabbergasted, but it is explained to him by the first mate that the fewer questions will be asked if everyone thinks that he is just Bee's consort. As Lindsay leads him through the city, Dick is shocked by how clean and normal the city is, pointing out that they even have an international coffee franchise. Were you expecting filthy market stalls full of spices, skulls, and three-headed monkeys? The first mate asks with a smile, and Dick smiles, but points out that a lot of eyes are following them through the city. The captain is adored. She is always watched, Lucas says as he waves Nightwing off. They finally arrive at the captain's home, the seat of power in the city, but when Lucas goes to open the door, a shotgun blast hits him in the chest. Bee is shocked, rushing to her friend's side, then looks up in anger at her brother, who stands there with a smoking gun. What have you done, brother? She demands, but the man shakes his head. You're not my sister. You're a chunk of driftwood that my father fished out of the sea and carved into a shape he liked, Dirk says. Bee gets to her feet, shocked that Dirk would sink this low, but he smiles, leaning in. Who do you think told Zuko about the diamond in the hold in the first place? I told several ruthless, greedy thugs, knowing at least one of them would deal with Dad. Job done, he whispers to her. But Dirk knows that he has no power without the hold and demands to know where it is. But Nightwing is done being quiet. He pulls out his escrima sticks, throwing down some smoke pellets and rushing forward as the smoke swirls around them, punching Dirk in the face, knocking him down. Lindsay draws a pistol, but Bee pulls out a sword, cutting through the weapon with one blow. She throws the woman out, whirling around, and Nightwing continues to fight the pirates as Bee rushes after her retreating brother. Dirk! She bellows as she rounds a corner, but she is shocked as her brother's blade pierces her stomach. Yes, you called? He asks with a smile, her eyes widening as the pain begins to course through her body. I will never tell you where the hold is, she gasps, and he merely smiles, telling her that he will torture everyone on the ship until they give up the location of the hold. I will get what I need from them, he says, twisting her around. Far below them, the waves crashing against the docks. Nightwing rushes out of the tower, shouting for Dirk to stop. No, I have longed for what is mine, he says as he kicks out, knocking Bee through the rail, sending her plummeting to the waters below. Beatus hits the water with a splash, disappearing below its depths. Back on the tower, Dirk wipes the blood from his blade, looking back at Nightwing. You seem pretty useful. You want a job, consort? But Dick moves past him, leaping up onto the railing and looking down at the waters below, raising an eyebrow. You're gonna kill yourself for her? Seems a little over the top, Dirk tells him. But Nightwing leaps, plummeting into the waters below. It was Alfred that taught him how to take care of people when they are hurt, more so than Batman ever did. Dick uses those skills now. Beatrice comes awake with Dick standing over her, having saved her and patched up her wounds. I'm not dead. She gasps as she attempts to sit up, but Dick shakes his head. No, you were stabbed, but he missed everything that you'd want him to miss. But don't try to move, he tells her as he sits on the bed. She shakes her head, moving to get out of bed, refusing to allow Dirk to take everything from her. In the last 48 hours, I've lost my ship, my crew, my command, my first mate, and my father. I will not lose the hold as well, she says as she stands, pulling on her shirt. She knows that if Dirk takes control of the hold, he will use the secrets within to bring down the empires of the world, and she refuses to allow him to do this. You saved my life. I release you from my debt. When I recover the hold, you will have your box. But Dick only laughs, pointing out that she can barely stand and has no crew. I'm not walking away, Bee. A short time later, Dick and Bee have stolen a seaplane and have flown to a secluded cove, the location of the hold, where the ancient sailing ship is moored. The crew of the ship stand in surprise as the plane door opens up and Bee steps out. Quartermaster, Bee says to the blonde woman in charge. The quartermaster is surprised. Captain Blood, we were told you, she says, but Bee interrupts her. There's been a mutiny, Amanda. Whose side are you on? I'm on your side. You are the captain, and Dirk is a jerk, Amanda tells her. But Bee smiles at her friend, boarding the ship, ordering them to prepare for Dirk's eventual arrival. Hours later, Dirk arrives in Bee's former ship. He stands ready on the deck of the ship. Quartermaster, defenders of the hold, your captain is here. The captain of the Crossed Keys is Dirk Blood, Amanda calls out to him. A plank is placed between the ships, and Dirk steps out, his sword drawn. Beatus was never a Blood, and she is dead. Now stand aside, he orders, but the pirates look up in surprise as Nightwing swings across the ships, leaping among them and kicking them away. Dirk turns in surprise. What is this? And Dick shrugs. Isn't it obvious? An ambush. He continues to fight, leaping and flipping, kicking his way across the ship and through the pirates, until finally it is only him and Dirk. The pirate clashes his sword against Dick's scrimsticks. You survived the fall, consort. And Dick snaps at him. I'm not a consort. Then why are you dressed like that? Dirk asks him. There was a chest in front of the wardrobe. Dick snaps at him, trying to defend his choice in romance novel pirate outfits. He ducks under another attack, punching Dirk hard and knocking him back, and that's when Dick reveals the truth. I wasn't just an ambush. I was also sent to distract you, while the captain freed her crew below deck. Dirk turns in surprise to see Beatrice and her crew have arrived from below deck, weapons pointed at all of the pirates loyal to Dirk. Weapons down, all of you, Beatrice orders, despite Dirk's shouts of anger, and the pirates comply. Dirk has no choice, dropping his blade to the deck. This is for Lucas, she says as she storms forward, knocking him out in one punch. And Dick looks at her. You know, he already dropped his weapon. Dick points out and Beatrice shrugs. My fist slipped, she says easily. With the task complete, Beatrice takes Dick into the hold, where he's given the mysterious box that was waiting for him. Inside of the box is a CD-ROM, and the pirates allow him to watch the footage captured on it. Dick is shocked to find that this is footage of the night that his parents were murdered. Footage that shows that Tony Zuko sabotaged his parents' trapeze. I gotta go home. I need to find Zuko, Nightwing says as he gets to his feet, and Beatrice nods to her old boyfriend. The Crossed Keys will be looking for him as well. All of our people in Bloodhaven will be searching. If we find Zuko or Heartless, you will know. She does ask that if Nightwing finds Heartless before they do, then he make the criminal pay for what he did to her father. Nightwing nods as he pulls on his mask once more. I will. And he heads off on his next adventure. The story of Nightwing that Tom Taylor has been writing is actually sadly coming to its conclusion. So if you want to see the final story arc, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell as we will be covering it here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.